64 to 66. Plenty of sunshine Thursday, high 66 to 71. Clouds and sunshine Friday, high 71 to 77. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
You know what you want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Join Gary and Don Crawford of Pinnacle Retirement Advisors for Retirement with Pinnacle, Saturday mornings at 9 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Don't miss Retirement with Pinnacle with Gary and Don Crawford, Saturday mornings at 9. Firm offers insurance services. Investment advisory services offered only by duly registered individuals through AE Wealth Management, LLC.
Ocala Talks is brought to you in part by Blockers Furniture.
This is Ocala Talks with Tom Schmidt, bringing stories that are important to our community in and around Ocala. Plus, of course, a splash of sports as well. Now, here's your host, Tom.
Good Tuesday morning. Welcome to Ocala Talks. I'm your host, Tom Schmitz, coming to you from the studios of WOCA Radio. Very, very excited to announce a partnership with Blockers Furniture. They're one of our hourly sponsors. So glad to have Blockers Furniture on from 8 to 11 every morning with us. Galen, from Life South. He's brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, Penn Flooring, and JustShip.net. Galen, good morning to you.
Hey, what's going on, Tom? How are you today?
I'm a little waterlogged. I had to, they said it was going to be light rain. Somebody lied about the airport because when I got out of the car, it was coming down pretty good. It wasn't. I don't know what their definition of light is because it's coming down pretty good.
I've been on the road since 6 a.m. It hasn't been dry all day.
You headed to the ATL?
No, I'm actually in Jacksonville.
Oh, so, that godforsaken pice of... Okay, never mind.
Yeah. And I came up the back road through the forest there.
314 to 19 up through Pelatka.
Yeah. I needed to clear out my sinuses today with some paper milk.
Oh, well, then you chose the only two ways to do that is through Pelatka or through Brunswick.
I will say Palatka is probably one of the only cities in America. They're happy when it rains because it dampens the smell.
Okay. And say it right, sir. It's Pelatka.
Yeah, well, again, Palatka is a weird spot for me. It holds it's a weird spot in my heart. I've worked in the area for years, and it just has a weird spot in my heart. I mean, they slashed my tires when I worked for a radio station, and then an hour later, the same community rallied behind me and fixed all my tires. I don't know. It's weird. It's this yin and yang thing where they hate you, but they can't help themselves, but to do the right thing. It's just it's strange. It's a strange town.
Well, I did back 20 years ago. I DJ'd at a couple nightclubs in Palatka on a regular basis, and when
there's
you
only
DJ,
one. I don't know what two there are.
Oh, there's more than one if you know where there are. There's Dean Still, there's High Level, there's the Cheyenne, there's Steamboats, there's all kind of places.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Must be in the mall that's closed down.
So, and then there's the Beef O'Brady's in the hotel, So
I was going to say, I mean, the Beef O'Brady's is in the hotel.
But it wasn't always the Beef O'Brady's. It was a nightclub, like a discotheque at one time.
Sure.
But I DJ'd around that area, and back then when you DJ'd, that really meant that you played music in between bad karaoke singers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Are you a karaoke? Do you have to be a karaoke guy in your job? You don't have a voice of an angel, but I'm sure you can rock Celebration.
Oh, I can.
When you need to.
I can sing the blues because you don't have to be able to sing the blues. You know what I mean?
Do you have And I have instructed my children on this too. I believe that you have to have a go-to karaoke song
Oh, yeah.
in a pinch when you're out in a place where you're like, this is ridiculous. And your boss is like, you're all going to sing, you're going to sing. Because you have that boss, and at some point in your life, you're going to have that boss. So,
See,
what is your go-to karaoke song?
Here's a little known fact about me.
George Thorogood?
Up until my late 20s, when I did things to destroy my vocal box and everything, party-wise, I actually turned down a voice and music scholarship to Florida State College of Jacksonville, believe it or not, when I was 18 years old.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I'm going to take the nod on that.
I did. I was in the Wolfson High School before I moved to Georgia. I was in the Wolfson High School choral ensemble that did musicals and plays and everything. I was a song and dance man in high school, pal.
So a song and dance, so your neck must have been longer then.
I still had the football neck, but everybody thought it was great that the football player. Everybody thought it was cool the football player. I was cool before the guy in Glee, the football player in Glee that ended up being a pedophile and a mass child pornographer. That guy. And then he committed suicide. But before he did all that, he was in Glee as a football player. Oh yeah. That big guy with the that had the big mohawk in the show.
The show was great. The show was great for one season, then it was terrible.
Yeah, but the guy that had the big mohawk, the football player that had the big mohawk, that was in the choral, he ended up getting arrested for child pornography and anything, and killed himself. Oh yeah. But I do have go-to karaoke stuff. There's two actually. They're interchangeable that I would go to. Back in the day, it was Jailhouse Rock by Elvis Presley. But then once I destroyed my voice, I can't do that song anymore. So now it's Old Red by Blake Shelton or The Sky is Crying by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Ooh.
Those are the go-tos.
No Bad to the Bone? I would think Bad to the Bone maybe a
no
good
George
one for you.
Thorogood. No. Every now and then Turn the Page by Bob Seger.
Well,
you got to have something that this voice matches. You know what I mean?
I don't hear you singing "Turn the Page."
Oh yeah, well Bob Seger's got that gruffy voice.
But I think but he can also sing when he needs to. I think.
Yeah, but he doesn't in that song.
Underrated,
just gruffy in that song.
I think he's an undervalued artist.
Oh, I love Bob Seger.
I think when you actually, he's one of those guys. And when you look at his whole catalog, you're like, yeah. For so long you couldn't listen to him because he was on every Chevy commercial in America.
Like
you couldn't turn on your TV. You couldn't without hearing that. You're like, God, I'm so sick of that song. And then when you hear the entire song, you're like, man, Chevy destroyed that song. So they sold a lot of trucks because of it, but and he became richer than he already was because of it. But yeah.
So but that's my two go-tos is Old Red and The Sky is Crying by Stevie Ray Vaughan.
I think having two is one too many.
Well, you never know. You got to have two because you don't know whether it's the rock and roll crowd or the country crowd.
Doesn't matter what it is. You got to have one, and that's what you're going to sing. And you're up there just to nothing more than to get through it. And there's nothing wrong with that.
And by the way,
we're here to battle through.
Have sung both of them at Catch a Rising Star, which is the nightclub at Universal City Walk, where it's not normal karaoke, because normal karaoke, the song plays and you're looking at TV. No, Catch a Rising Star, you actually have a live band performing behind you the songs you're singing.
Well, why would you do that? I mean, unless I've been on a lot of cruises, and one of the things I love to do is watch people get up there and do the karaoke, because for them, this is their moment. This is the moment where they're like, I could have been a contender. I could have been a contender. I was a rising star, and I'm going to get noticed on this boat now.
No. You know what it is?
75 people in the lounge.
See, you don't understand what it is. I can sum up why people sing karaoke just like I do. I can sum it up one word: Jägermeister.
Well, no, on the cruise, you see people in their stone cold sober. And it's like,
Okay,
wow,
first off,
you know,
why would you go on a cruise and be stone cold sober?
I was no, that's a fair point.
Don't you buy unlimited? Don't you buy the unlimited drink plan, which means you can start drinking? But don't that mean people can? So that means you can start drinking it like first thing in the morning.
Sure. I don't buy the unlimited drink plan because
you probably
I'm
aren't
always
that guy.
with my family. No, I'm a one or two. Let's enjoy ourselves, and they don't typically have the type of high-end bourbon that I've become accustomed to.
So really, you're just snooty and snotty. That's pretty much it. That's really what it is.
Correct. The well drinks on that cruise are not very good.
So Old Crow is not Old Crow or Old Granddad just isn't up to your liking, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Old Granddad, they have one blend that is fantastic.
But Kentucky Gentleman isn't your thing.
No, but if they have a single barrel, it's pretty good. But yeah, all those things. You know, I love cruises, so you're not going to get me to say anything negative about a cruise. But I really enjoy watching people who think they are having the greatest moment of their life, and you're just going, wow, the bar is really low for you.
My two favorite things on cruises, and which is why I've never been on a Disney cruise, even though I love Disney the way I do, I've never been on a Disney cruise, because a Disney cruise fails to have one thing, and it makes it where it's uncruisable. They don't have a casino. Yep, right there, off the mark. Off the even choice page, because to me, the comedy shows and the casino are the two most important things on the cruise.
Well, I agree with the comedy show. I don't go to the casino. It just, the smoke kills me.
It does hang from about an inch and a half above the floor. It does.
They have done a better job with it with their ventilation, but it's just it hurts me for like 2 days. But again, the comedy shows are usually really good, but I also like all the shows on the cruise. So, I'm a sucker for that stuff.
Well, you're probably the guy that goes to the 11 o'clock adult show in Vegas too, though. So I'm just saying.
No, in Vegas, for me that's like 1 a.m. and I'm asleep.
Yeah, well, then you should never go to Vegas. Speaking of going somewhere,
I only go there for work. Well,
there you
go there for enjoyment, unless F1 goes to Vegas, and it's the proper price and not what they're charging in Miami. Then I would go.
We'll come back and I'll tell you why you're so wrong. We'll do that next, right here on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Are you or your loved one being released from a hospital and wondering how you'll manage? Inform your physician that you want to go to Palm Garden of Ocala at 2700 Southwest 34th Street for your rehabilitation. Palm Garden provides pain management, post-discharge follow-up, diabetic care, psychosocial support, and so much more. Plus, they even offer outpatient rehab. This award-winning care facility has a team of licensed professionals dedicated to enhancing your independence. Call 352-854-6262 today.
Are you wasting time boxing up packages and going to the post office or the UPS store? Are you tired of not knowing what you'll pay when you get there? Just Ship offers pickup service and flat rate packaging and postage rates, which takes the guesswork out of shipping while saving you time and money. So quit wasting valuable time and money. Call or text Just Ship at 352-234-3840. That's 352-234-3840. Just Shipped.
Hi, this is JP from Penn Flooring here in Ocala. I would like to invite you to come in and visit our spacious showroom where we have solutions for every style and budget. From wall-to-wall carpet to hardwood floors and tiles, we have an unsurpassed selection of flooring. At Penn Flooring, we've provided quality customer service with a family touch for over 25 years. Visit our website at pennflooring.com or come by our showroom, 1201 Southwest 17th Street, just over the bridge. Penn Flooring, quality customer service with a family touch.
New arrivals and new savings are waiting for you at Blockers Furniture. With over 80,000 square feet of the best selection and best prices you can find on furniture, mattresses, home accents, accessories, and more. And with new trucks arriving weekly, Blockers has the best available in-stock selection. Unlike many other furniture companies that will have you waiting for months to get what you want or need, come see everything that Blockers has to offer. Blockers Furniture, 2402 Southwest College Road, next to Hobby Lobby.
Now you've done it. Have you lost your mind? He's back. And you're listening again. A legend in his own mind. Don't believe me? Just ask him. Here's Tom Schmitz live on WOCA. The Source.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Tuesday, Galen Null from Life South joins us. He does every day, brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, and JustShip.net. Galen, before we went to break, I was going to come back and tell you why you're wrong about Vegas and the places you should go, because you said that you would only if F1 comes to Vegas and it's cheaper than it would be in Miami, then you would go. Well, first off, if you go to the F1, instead of watching it on the road race, you go into a casino and watch it, and you sit at a penny slot while you're watching it on the, in the sports book. You can get free drinks right there. See, that's right there. But,
you haven't seen me watch F1. I watch F1 on 3 different screens.
But a good week to go to Vegas is if you've never been, it's the final week of March, the middle week of March Madness. The Sweet 16 and Elite 8 games. Very good weekend to go to Vegas. Anytime during July and August when the World Series is in town, it's a good time to go to Vegas, the World Series of Poker when it's going on. The second week of December, a fantastic time to go to Las Vegas. And I'll tell you why. The National Rodeo Championships are in town.
Oh, sure.
And
sure.
If you have a nice enough accent, if you're from the Deep South like we are, you can put on a baseball cap, cowboy hat, whatever you want to do. I always do rock a baseball cap. I can't really, I can't pull off the cowboy hat. But when I was single, me and my buddies from college, we'd go out there every year. And the ladies that would come out there, hey, where are you from with that accent? You a cowboy? No, ma'am, I'm just a good old boy from the Deep South. That's close enough. It's a fantastic week. It's a fantastic weekend. So see, you missed it. You've been married so long, you missed out on all these opportunities. That's the issue.
I guess.
That's what happened.
I have been to Australia with an American accent.
Which did you well.
Didn't hurt.
Did you
Didn't
well.
Hurt.
And you found out that they think Foster's beer sucks.
Yeah.
I asked an Australian guy one time, I go, why do y'all, if Foster's is so bad, why do they import so much to America? He goes, mate, we send it in those big cans so we can get twice as much out of here.
Yeah, there you go. That's true. That's true. No, I mean, it's good. Vegas is Vegas. My wife wants to go because she's never been.
It's a 72-hour town, though. There are towns in this world that are 72-hour towns. Vegas is a 72-hour town.
And I think, New York is maybe 4 days.
But 72, maybe 96 is pushing it in New York. But New Orleans is a 72-hour town.
New Orleans is definitely a 72-hour town.
Vegas is 72 hours. Memphis, Tennessee.
Hours,
Memphis, Tennessee, 72 hours.
Nashville, maybe a 48. No, I respect that.
Amsterdam, 72 hours.
I wouldn't fly that far for 72 hours.
Believe me, but you got to be in Europe. You got to be in Europe on vacation, and then Amsterdam's just one of the places you're going to. You're right. Sure. You don't just fly to Amsterdam just to hang out in Amsterdam for 72 hours. But there are things that you have available to you in Amsterdam. Like everything illicit you could think of. So Amsterdam's not a good place, bro. It's just. It's just, if
Yeah,
your
no,
son
that's-
ever,
that's
if
an
your son
interesting,
comes to you, if your
analogy.
son comes to you in the next year or so, because your son seems to be, from everything you've said, he seems to be well on his way to being stable, unlike his father. But
Right.
if he comes to you in the next year and a half and goes, "Hey, Dad, I want to take a quick sabbatical to Amsterdam," that runs up a red flag. Start wondering what has changed in his life. Get some clergy help. Maybe get a psychologist. Because if he's planning to go to Amsterdam at 21, 22 years old, something drastically has changed in that young man's life. He needs an intervention before he ever gets on an airplane.
No, I respect that. I understand what you're saying. But I like the 72-hour
Oh,
analogy.
it's a rule. It's a rule of mine. There's 72-hour towns.
There's a bunch of them. Like
San Diego is a 72-hour town to me.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
No, to
No, it
me,
isn't.
because I don't know San Diego the way
No,
you
it
do.
isn't.
I only know San Diego through San Diego State University and the fraternities. That makes it a 72-hour town for me.
San Diego is a life. I mean, because you can do everything in San Diego. And unlike, the rest of California, it's not under a state of emergency. You know what I mean?
Well, it's California. I sent you that meme today. Can we really say California's under a state of emergency? They're fixing to have the Super Bowl.
No, it's kind of nuts, isn't it? It's absolutely crazy how nuts these people are. I'm always floored by people and their reaction to things and their just sheer stupidity. But California has been dumb for a long time. And they've risen the bar of dumbness. So, yeah.
But yeah, I have a steadfast rule.
State of emergency. Did you see that Newsom is considering raising the mask mandate for outside?
Yes.
But at the same time, we're supposed to follow the science. And there's not a single scientist who's really studying virology who's looking at this and going, outside is a real threat. I mean, nobody believes that anymore, unless you live in California.
No, of course not. One of my buddies wants me to play Mac the Knife. It's one of the greatest songs ever, and he thinks it's ridiculous. Talking about karaoke and everything. It's a great song. But in California, except for San Diego, is a place that I could never live. And somebody goes, "Oh, you could live in wine country." No, I couldn't. "Oh, you could live in Bakersfield out in the country." No.
You could. No, you could. You just have to have enough money.
Right. Well, that too. But San Diego, to me, my understanding of San Diego was San Diego State University and fraternities. And believe me, it was a 72-hour town when I was there, pal. Believe that. But I was there. I was there in 1993. So what do I know?
I lived there from 91 to 92, and it was I mean, the Mission Beach, going to Salty Dogs, and going to Moon
a good
Doggies.
town. It was a good town. But it was a town I woke up with a headache every morning. It was a good town, though. Good town. Good town. Hey, we're going to take a break.
Yeah.
We come back more with Galen Udall from Life South. Brought to you by the good folks at Penn Flooring, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation, and Just Shipped. We'd also like to thank our newest sponsor, Blocker Furniture. This hour is brought to you in part by Blocker's Furniture. We'll be right back after this timeout on 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
Broadcasting from the Ocala International Airport, this is WOCA AM, W242CA FM, Ocala, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
As tensions between Taiwan and China continue to be front and center, the United States has approved a $100 million support contract with Taiwan, aimed at boosting the island's missile defense systems. The funds would be used to sustain, maintain, and improve Taiwan's Patriot missile defense system. China claims Taiwan to be its own. Taiwan's foreign minister said it highly welcomed the U.S. decision. Men 2-to-1 outnumbered women landing a job in America as we near the end of the pandemic. More than 1 million men jumped into the job market last month, coming off unemployment payrolls and either looking for a job or getting a job. That's compared to just 39,000 women, according to just released government data.
All of these terrible things are up in our country because people are just trying to cope and are breaking down.
Raquel Dankcho speaking to Canada's House of Commons during the truckers' protest in the Capitol. USA Radio News.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
Want to do in retirement, but do you know how to get there? Tune in to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors, Sunday mornings at 8 to get answers to your retirement planning questions. Plan today so you can do the things you've always dreamt about doing in retirement. Listen Sunday mornings at 8 to Coasting into Retirement with Gary Marriage of Nature Coast Financial Advisors.
Our firm offers insurance services.
You're getting ready to move and you work hard. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. You need pros, trained professional moving experts to do the heavy lifting for you. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. They care about your things as much as you do, and they do it fast and right. That's why you call Two Men in a Truck, 352-289-0666. Visit twomeninatruck.com and get moving.
Two Men in a Truck.
If you're thinking about a yard do-over for the spring, the time to start is right now. And that's where Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery in Ocala really shines. For just a tune-up or a total redo, Bob Wine's experts can do it all for a surprisingly low price, and they'll do it on time. Bring your ideas. Better yet, bring your photos, and we'll get started right away. And by the way, check this week's big colorful ad for some unbeatable buys like these. Gorgeous African iris, just $3.99. Foxtail fern, only $8.99. And they've got a gigantic selection of easy care drift roses, many colors, just $22.99. By all means, don't miss the Camellia Show Spectacular daily, every day now until April. It's all right now at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery on Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. They're open daily till 4, Saturdays till 3, right there in the same blooming place since 1952.
Florida's Kids Helping Kids is proud to be hosting the Marion County Fair Winter Carnival. Our chili cook-off for kids is February 26th, as well as our beauty contest. The Marion County Fair will also feature Jimmy Riffle and Sarah from the Gator Boys. It'll have camel rides, pony rides, and a petting zoo. There'll be live entertainment sponsored by our talented local performers. You can save by purchasing your tickets to the fair during a pre-sale by going to dreamland-events-upcoming-events-carnival/#Marion. For more information or for vendor space and entertainment schedules, go to MarionCountyFairFL.com. It's the Marion County Fair Winter Carnival, sponsored by Kids Helping Kids.
Veterans Helping Veterans USA. Call 352-433-2320. We help veterans and their families with limited financial assistance, counseling, employment referrals, and a food and clothing bank. You can help in making a huge difference in the veterans' lives we serve by donating food, clothing, household items, or direct financial assistance. All donations are tax deductible. Veterans Helping Veterans USA. 352-433-2320. Thank you for your attention, and God bless America.
You're having another great day and you have good taste tuning into WOCA The Source with Ocala Talks and Tom Schmitz. Well, 1 out of 2 isn't bad.
Welcome back to Ocala Talks. On a Tuesday, Galen Unal joins us from Life South as he does every day. Brought to you by the good folks at Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center, JustShip.net, and Penn Flooring. Galen, I'm looking at the NFL hirings, and the Saints are reportedly going to hire their defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, to replace Sean Payton. He has an 8-28 record as a head coach in the NFL. And the Texans go get a tried and true, but albeit long in the tooth head coach in Lovie Smith. But the Rooney Rule is alive and well in Houston. So they hire Lovie Smith. So 2 more hires. Neither one of them a big splash to me on teams that need some help.
Well, again, in the NFL, you need 2 things. You need
quarterback,
a head coach, and a quarterback. Not necessarily in that order. But if you don't have one of those 2 things, you are not going to win. So what are you getting from Lovie Smith? Right? I mean, honestly, he's a guy who's been in the league a long time, been associated with the league a long time.
Went to Illinois after he was in the league, didn't do well at Illinois.
Right. He's never won as a head coach. He's been a pretty winning assistant coach.
He's a retread. He's a retread is what he is.
Of course he is. And retreads, what are they? Are they, do you get Dick Vermeil? As a retread, he's probably set the bar. Or what's his name in Kansas City's been a pretty good retread. But both of those guys were very successful the first time they went around.
Andy Reid didn't sit out the same time that Dick Vermeil did. Dick Vermeil was Dick Vermeil sat out 10 years before he came back.
10 years, and you could say that Pete Carroll in Seattle was a retread. And again, he's had very mixed. He's on a real downturn right now. But he also went to USC. Before he came back to
and
the
was
NFL,
very good at USC.
And was very good. So, again, retreads are, I don't know. I really believe that hiring a head coach is so difficult in today's NFL. I think it's more difficult to find a coach than it is to find a quarterback.
Oh, I think so. I think it's much harder to find a coach than it is a quarterback.
And again, so the Houston Texans at this point, they're not getting Sean Payton because Sean Payton is still – you'd have to make some kind of a deal with New Orleans, and then maybe Sean Payton doesn't want to coach.
Sean Payton's coaching the Cowboys next season.
Right, and the Texans are such a mess because of the Deshaun Watson thing that's out there. Is he going to get off and not be charged with all of these crimes? It's a mess. I would not touch the Texans' job.
And
Their
remember,
salary cap is a mess.
Remember, we know Lovie Smith. He coached right here in Tampa. Tampa Bay fans remember the inequities of Lovie Smith.
But how much of that now is on the quarterback, right? And this is why you can apologize for any head coach, unless you've had, a Tom Brady or, one of those elite guys who can just get you past coaching. I don't know, and sometimes they're just good enough to get you fired. Again, hiring a coach is the most important thing, and who they hire as assistants. And I don't know. I do not envy that decision. I'd much rather be the guy who picks a middle linebacker, right, or a tailback, or agrees to a deal with a running back.
That's much easier than to hire a head coach or a quarterback. Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah, because it's just harder. It's just harder.
So this story registered with me. I don't know why he wouldn't do it. I would do it in a heartbeat, but maybe that's because I'm a guy who just goes after the money. I'm like Cuban Gooding Jr. Show me the money. Rumble. Are you familiar with Rumble, the platform Rumble?
Of course. Yeah.
Rumble
I think this show should go to Rumble, so therefore we could say whatever we want. They believe in free speech.
Rumble is it's a Canadian,
and not these other platforms.
It's a Canadian video sharing platform called Rumble. We stand with you, your guest, and your legion of fans, and desire for real conversations is what they say. And yesterday, they put their money where their mouth was.
Well,
they offered Joe Rogan $100 million to leave Spotify and join Rumble.
Well, and again, I mean, you can make that. It's like me and you saying, "Look, Joe, we'll pay you $100 million if you come to WOCA." You know what I mean? When you get 17 million downloads per episode, you can throw money like that, and it's a hollow promise because there's no way he's leaving Spotify in that check.
No.
I mean, come on. You know, and by the way, and Rogan has made it clear he doesn't care if Spotify deletes his old episodes.
No.
He doesn't care.
And his deal with
care.
Spotify, by the way, a little north of $100 million.
Not much, but he also gets his own. He gets to promote his own companies, his own bourbons, and all the other things he owns. Again, what do we? It's Joe Rogan. I think this is all done. I think, you know, you start hitting comedians and their use of the N-word, and you put it in a context. And again, it's like, what are we talking about? Howard Stern next? You know, Howard Stern's probably used the N-word more than anybody else on the planet.
Well,
are we going after him next?
Well, say what you want. Money moves everything, and you can say what you want about Joe Rogan saying this, Joe Rogan saying that.
It's more than that.
Spotify's stock was $161. They announced a Joe Rogan deal at over $100 million. Their stock went up to close the next day at $175, reached a high of $364 a share. Now it's come back to earth. It's back down to the $175 again, but still, that's $14 more a share than it was the day before they signed Rogan. And if you bought and then got out real quick, you could have sold it at $364 a share. So Spotify's reaped the benefits of Joe Rogan, regardless of whether people are upset with his language or not.
Well, I mean, you could say the opposite for Facebook, right? Because Facebook is dying. I mean, their stock is tanking. You know, their biggest angel investor pulled out of it. But yet, you know, you still think it's a thriving platform that everybody should use?
No, I said it's a thriving photo album. I've always said Facebook is a photo album.
It's a dying. Just admit it.
Well, the average age of Facebook increased another 2 years. Just by attrition, it's a dying platform because we're all older and going to die before, you know, young kids. Right. I'll give you this. People under the age of 35, for the most part, don't use Facebook except to send grandma and grandpa pictures of themselves.
I think that may be a little low. They won't release the average age of their. They won't release their true user demographics unless it suits them. So, again, Facebook's dying. Just move on.
Kind of like the cruise industry. Just move on.
Cruise industry will be alive and well once we get past this.
That's because a guy like you loves cruises.
In the middle of the Caribbean.
You know my problem with cruises, and we only have a few minutes because you got to go early, but you know my problem with cruises, and it's my own fault. I will take complete blame for my lack of interest in cruises. And it's because the first cruise I ever took, you know, I was gung-ho. I was 20. It was time to go on a cruise. I had a couple of my buddies were going. We were going with these like, there was 3 guys and like 6 girls going. It was going to be a fantastic time. We were going to the Bahamas. I'd never been to the Bahamas before. It was going to be a fantastic time. 3-day, 2-night cruise. You leave Fort Lauderdale, you go in a circle for a day, you anchor off, you go to the Bahamas, you go back, you go in a circle for a day, and you go back. It was the least lackluster. It was a terrible, and it's our own fault. You have no business taking a 3-day cruise. The 3-2 is a horrible cruise thing. And I don't even know if they offer it anymore. And we got it because it was cheap and everything, and you get what you pay for, but it soured me on cruises. And it's my own fault.
Okay. Yeah, you're again, I think you either like cruises or you don't. I respect that. You know, you either like going to Vegas or you don't. You either like going on an RV or you don't. There's a lot of options for your vacation dollars.
You know what I like?
No problem.
You know what I like? Every chance I get, especially when you offered movie tickets. It was really good then. But every chance I get, I go to find the Bloodmobile and give blood. So today, if I was going to do that, where would I be looking for the Bloodmobile?
Well, you know, today we're out in the Villages at the Walmart out there, but as always, we're right on the boulevard. We're easy to find. 1607 East Silver Springs Boulevard. You know, on the same side of the street as the Cascades, right across the street.
You're right next to next to the greatest sewing machine shop in the county, and you're right across from two banks, Chase and South State, right across the street from you.
That's right. Old Tootin's Golf used to be caddy corner for us.
And
for years.
On the corner where a gas station used to be, you can at times get one of the best Philly cheesesteaks in Marion County at a food truck right there.
Yeah, it's barbecue now, but yeah, I've been to that food truck you are mentioning. It's very good.
It is.
I haven't seen him in a while, but
No. Well, he's downtown on the square now. I mean downtown at the farmers market now, but.
Oh, I got you.
So, but out in the villages.
Out there, give blood.
Out in the villages.
Yeah, but give blood. Come to the boulevard and give blood.
Galen, you know, for Lifestyle, talk to you tomorrow.
All right, bye all.
You know, Galen does a good job for us every day. Brought to you by Penn Flooring, JustShip.net, and, of course, Palm Garden Health and Rehabilitation Center. We'll be right back after this timeout to wrap up hour number 1, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, WOCA, The Source.
And service to our country is something we're so proud of. He made a difference and set a great example. Now it's our turn to honor the sacrifices he made for our family and this country. As veteran specialists, Hires Baxley Funeral Service helps us celebrate Dad's life and can help you too. Hires Baxley is here for you during your time of need or when planning for the future. For more information, call 352-484-0891 or visit hiresbaxley.com/choice.
Tick-tock, tax season has arrived upon us once again. But not to worry, with a reputable CPA firm on your side, you can rest assured that all of your tax needs will be handled in a timely and professional manner.